morning.
Good morning.
David?
Hey, Mike. David Moore, Dallas Morning News. I know you guys were excited about Overshown last year, and he had the injury, and then it took him a while this year. But just how he's playing and how he's developed in his first full season, from what you've seen.
I mean, he's definitely Demo's playing excellent football. He's improving every week. I just think when, some of the scheme adjustments we've made, I thought he's done a really nice job with that. He's had some pressure opportunities that he's made an impact. But yeah, he's had a lot of production last week. Just an impact player for us. Just obviously an exciting young player.
With how he's coming on too, and getting Micah back last week, did you kind of see that unlock even a few more things with him with Micah back?
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's just like anything. I mean, when Micah's on the field, he's going to create more one-on-ones for others. So, that's definitely the case.
Clarence Hill, All City, Dallas. A couple of things. Overshawn, the knee, he's good from last week.
Yes.
Tyler Smith, can you talk about?
Tyler Smith will practice today, so he's scheduled to be out there.
And obviously, Overshawn and some of the guys have energy. What has been the mood of the team throughout this whole process? And is there a difference between false energy and real energy? I mean, because when you guys are just saying it to say it, or is it real? How do you kind of discern the difference?
Well, I think like anything, there's you have the disappointment after the game. Monday's a long day because you got to come in and go through the process of sick call, weight room, and then go through all the meetings. Everything's addressed. In special teams and group meetings, and so it's a long day. I mean, it's a corrective mode. They're very attentive, very coachable, accountable, and then really Wednesday is you kind of open the door to the next opportunity. So, yeah, I thought practice was solid. I wouldn't say it was the greatest Wednesday practice we had all year, but it was definitely above the line as far as how I judge it. Both visually and GPS and all those the instruments that we have. So this is our most important day today. So I look for us to have we had our Thursday practice last week was a very good practice in the terms of what you're looking for in a Thursday practice. So yeah, it's important for us to stay in the moment and so forth, and and everybody has a responsibility to manage what's going on around them.
I'm Mike Archer with ESPN. You talked a few weeks ago about you knew there'd be an adjustment to Mike Zimmer's defense when he came in and different things that he's bringing. How do you feel he's adjusted as the year's gone on without having guys? It seems like you've changed some fronts, added different packages at 3 down linemen.
Yeah, definitely. Mike's done this a long time. Obviously, there's patterns, themes, trends that go on throughout this league, and when you are in the league for a number of decades, you understand what they are, where they come from, and I think the biggest thing is having a foundation of a system, and that's why it was important to let Mike put his system in. Because it's not really as much as the starting point; it's the variations and the adjustments. You've got to be proactive in your adjustments and anticipate how things are going to go. And that's kind of what we're going through right now. And then you couple that with the injuries and things we've had to deal with. So I think he's navigating it well.
And with Houston's defense, San Francisco, is that how you look at it?
Yeah, definitely very very comparable. Schematically. Player profile, the emphasis, how they want to play. So there's a lot of similarities, yes.
John Machota with The Athletic, kind of somewhat similar question to that. With DeMeco Ryans in particular, I mean, you've gone against him in different stops. Is there anything like when you just turn on the tape, you're like, this looks like a DeMeco Ryans defense? Is there anything that stands out?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when I look at him this year, I see a very similar to 2022, as I recall the competition of those games. So, but we're just we're a little different. I mean, this team's different, so you play to your matchups like you do every game.
Calvin Watkins, Dallas Morning News. How is Tyler Guyton, obviously a young player? How do you think he's responded to? He was sick, he got hurt. Now you got competition at that position. How do you think he's responded to everything?
Tyler's been very consistent, with his approach. I mean, there's a newness. He's young. I mean, he's young. This is the first time going through, a long season like this, and we're only halfway there. So, but it definitely feels a lot better this week than he did at this point last week. So, it's I thought he looked like himself yesterday.
In the draft process with young players in general, how much do you factor in when adversity hits? How will they handle that? Because it does
Definitely,
happen.
it's definitely part of their personality profile, and I mean, it's just like anything. To be on that board, they're obviously above the line, physically with their traits and what you're looking for. The reality of it, it's really the mental and emotional. That's where the true evaluation is, and that's the hurdle that everybody has to go over in this business to be successful.
Saudis with The Athletic. Mike, actually going off of that, just how do you balance as a coach the thing of having the best player available out there on the field versus if you bench a young guy or whatever, something like that happens, then it could shoot their confidence and things like that.
Yeah, so I think just staying in the fact, I've never looked at it as 11 on 11. I mean, you have to, it's just something as simple as when they come and they ask, who do you want to be announced, for the starting lineup at the game for the offense. You never or defense, you never announce 11 guys. So I mean, I think you just always have to factor that into your thinking. I mean, you never have enough players, young or old. So, and the young guys, yes, you're definitely. You want them to get started. You want to make sure you're doing the best you can to keep them in positions to be successful. That's all part of the planning that goes on. That's why when you get into the spring, you come out of the scheme evaluation period, and then you start building your scheme implementation phase. But there's still that draft class that you have to make sure you have some room to build into what your menu is going to look like. So I mean, to me, these things are all built in. The process that starts back into the spring for our young players.
And you're getting into the area of 10 games-ish now.
Mm-hmm.
When you talk about a rookie wall and things, is this around the time when rookies start hitting that, or when do you see that happen?
It's different for everybody, and I think really how much they played, so their health and so forth. But yes, I mean we're definitely aware of it. This is the longest professional year of their life. You think about everything that's gone into what they've poured into their last year or their senior year in college. Then as soon as that's over, they have to get ready for the draft process. So there's a whole different level of training and things that they go through there. That's really its own separate chapter. And then once the draft occurs, then they go to the new team, and and then now they're thrown right into the middle of an off-season program, and then they got to get ready for training camp, and then as you've already stated, they have to play 20 football games, so they're guaranteed 20 football games. So yeah, it's definitely the longest year of their life, and that's why we do a lot of young player meetings, just to make sure that we're on top of exactly where they are in all aspects of their life, personally and professionally, because this is a huge adjustment year for these guys, and this is really the opportunity to build the proper foundation for them to be successful.
Skyler Dixon with the AP. You don't have much experience with losing streaks that start to get a little long, which I'm sure you consider a good thing. How does it test your resolve? How does it test that philosophy that you have of being consistent emotionally?
I think it confirms what I believe in and what I've done. That's what adversity has been my personal experience, because I'm not I'm trying to say this nicely. I'm not a big fan of drama. In that personality is something that I've had to learn to, as a coach, to engage with and work with and so forth. So I think like anything in life, I think it's important when you do go through times, regardless of what they are professionally, you go back to who you are. You should stick to who you are. I'm never going to try to be somebody else. And I think it's important for all of us to operate in that phase, because we were all brought here for a reason. We've done good things together, so we need to continue to work and stay convicted to that commitment. So if anything, these moments really confirm who you are, why you're here, and that's the way I look at it. I think this is an incredible opportunity for this football team, what's in front of us, to be into this valley of adversity, and I think to come out of this would be a great story. And there's a ton of work, and the only work we're really focused on is really beating the Houston Texans. But man, this is a great opportunity for us, and I tell these guys repeatedly, just enjoy this. This is something that you can really learn from for the rest of your life.
Ed Porter, WFA. What are your early impressions of Mingo, and what role do you project him having on?
Well, I don't want to project his role, obviously until you see him play, but I think he's everything we thought he was, when we, made the transaction, and just that work ethic has come right in. He's picking it up quickly. I've been impressed with that. So the inside-out flexibility, what we thought, he was physically, that's definitely there. So he's shown some vertical juice just in a couple opportunities he's had there. So he's done a nice job. So I look for him to be available this week.
In what ways would you most hope Cooper would improve his performance from last week to this week?
Well, I think Cooper, he has to get us in and out of the runs and passes, just get into the flow of the game. We need to be productive with the football, and it's really getting the ball distributed. You have to distribute the ball 53, 54, 55 times a game to your perimeter people, whether we're handing it off, or throwing it. So we have to get back into that functionality of an offense.
Garrett Podell, CBS Sports. Mike, Rico Dowdle's efficiency's gone up the last few weeks. How important is it? I know obviously you always say you want to get the run game going, him, and especially against a team that has two top-end edge rushers like you said.
Yeah, definitely got to get him the ball. I mean, that's my focus. Just continue to get him opportunities. He's the lead back, and I thought he had a really good first half, and I think that's really illustrated by the attempts. Rico needs to touch the ball.
Nicole Hutchinson, Dallas Cowboys media. How does a receiver improve on creating separation? Is it technique? Is it speed? What is it exactly?
Well, I think it's all those things. I mean, it's the route running breakdown. We start with the releases. Then the stem. The discipline in the stem, understanding the mannerisms and what you put on tape, your body language through that particular phase of the route, the breaking point, being physical, using the separation techniques and fundamentals to separate, and then obviously, going and getting the football and then making those contested catches if needed. So, yes, that's something that we work on every single day, and I would put that into the route running into the area of technique.
Aaron Gavin's Lone Star Live. You'll see Dalton Schultz on Monday, and then about a year and a half since he moved on and Jake has kind of taken over that lead role. How have you seen Jake grow, and where do you think he can go from here?
Jake?
Yeah.
I think Jake is an excellent player, and he's our number one tight end, and he does a good job not only on the field but commanding that room, and obviously you had a chance to be with Dalton and. Learn from a guy that's taking full advantage of his opportunity when it came. So, but Jake Ferguson's one of our key guys on offense.
Going back to that offseason, were you pretty confident that Jake was ready to sort of become?
Yeah, I never really sweat young players because let's be honest, at that time they're not ready. I mean that was March, April, or whenever. When those decisions make, but you trust in the process, you trust in the kid's potential. He's wired the right way. I think he's done the job in the weight room that was really needed after his rookie year. So he needs to continue to build off of that. But Jake's a very instinctive, tough player. So and you could see that right away with the limited opportunities he had, and not only on offense but on special teams. So he's built a good foundation, and like I said, he's one of our best players on offense.
God.
Mike, with all the time Bland has missed, does there come a point in the season where it's just kind of say, shut it down for the year and move on? Or can you come close to that point?
I wouldn't say so. I mean, I haven't been part of any conversation that illustrates that. It's just, until it's right, we're not going to play him. So, and you just got to trust the feedback that between him and Britt, and trust the process. So, but right now we just haven't crossed that threshold yet.
All righty.
All right, thank you.